People who got cheated on, what made you suspect that your partner was cheating on you? So what were the signs? Was your gut feeling right? Do you have any tips for finding out whether you are being cheated on from your experience?
When it happened to me, I was completely blindsided. I had no suspicion at all. Then this girl I knew told me, and I didn't believe her. This girl was doing it mainly to get at my girlfriend because she didn't like her but acted like it was for my benefit. I asked my girlfriend about it and she denied it, and then showed me doctored text messages confronting the girl who told me. So I believed her. Yeah, and then my girlfriend breaks up with me out of nowhere a few weeks later and is dating the guy I was told she was cheating with, who was also giving her drugs. Yeah, it was a rough time. I caught her with a penis firmly inside of her. Turns out, it was not my penis. Started acting shifty with phone and taking it everywhere he went. Lost interest in me in all areas, and I felt like all I did was irritate him. All of this gave me a hunch and gut feeling that his attention was elsewhere and he had checked out of the relationship.
Spending a lot of time with a guy friend to the point it made me uncomfortable, but I didn't want to be a controlling boyfriend, so let it slide. She'd also get funny and ask me 21 questions whenever I had any sort of innocent interaction with a girl, to the point it made me feel guilty to even have polite conversation with anyone of the opposite sex. Was in construction camp for months during the pandemic. Wife didn't call me once. Every time I called her there was mass social gatherings at home and couldn't really talk. I came home and there were no signs of me and her. No photos, no nothing. They were in the shed. Told me to bring home dinner after a 13-hour drive. Just vacant. Then I was the bad guy for saying this isn't working. Literally telling me to get out of a friend group we had in common, cause she didn't want to share them. Mind you, I was in the friend group before I even got together with her, and she wasn't in it before I introduced her into it. I had gut feelings and brought them up, but I'm an idiot easily blinded by love. I only knew for sure years later. The real pain came from remembering small details that I ignored, refused to focus on, or too afraid to call out. I've learned from that episode, but it was an unpleasant lesson. He started acting colder and distant and I had no idea why. Brought it up to him and he gaslit the hell out of me and said I was crazy for thinking he was acting differently. When he broke up with me he lied and said it was because he's going through some mental health stuff and needed to be on his own. But intuition was telling me it was something more going on, and I asked if he'd met someone else. He was a coward and said no. Come to find out from an ex of his best friend that he started relationship a new woman 2 weeks after we broke up, and he'd been cheating on me with her for the last 3 months of our relationship. I never got to confront him about it and it's one of my biggest regrets. I was blind to a lot of it, but she was getting lots of help from her friends to keep me in the dark. Even boasted on Facebook about how in the dark I was the day she left me. The thing that really tipped me off was when I restarted my phone one night. We both had the same model Motorola, and when the ringtone came on after the restart, she woke up instantly and began searching for her phone. I knew right then, there was something she was hiding. The next day, she had new passwords all over her computer, which did not normally have any. Because we trusted each other, right? About a week later, one of her friends called me to tell me my then wife was cheating all over the place and the guilt was eating this woman up for knowing and not telling me. As the years have gone by, I have found that almost every single person I met through my ex was also sleeping with her. But hey, she only did anal and oral with them. I got the vag out of courtesy. Lucky me, huh?
Was with a girl for 9 months. She worked at one of the stores I merchandised for my sales job. Always thought she was cute but never talked to her. I had been in a long-term relationship, and a month or so after it ended, I approached the girl at work and got her number. We started hanging out every day. She had also just gotten out of a relationship, so we weren't rushing anything. I really liked her but didn't want to pressure her at all. We only went out like once or twice, but she'd come to my house every day. Hooked up every time, but it wasn't just sex. Lots of cuddling and affection. I go on vacation with my family. Girl says she'll miss me when I'm gone and that she'll text and call throughout the week. Well, we're on the phone one night and I stepped into the next room for some privacy. My mom came in and asked who I was talking to. I said a friend. The girl hears this and teases me, "Oh, just a friend, huh?" I said, "Hey, let's talk about that when I get home." It had been 9 months. I was ready to make it official. But after I proposed this talk, she got real quiet. Stopped answering my texts for the rest of the week. Wasn't down to hang when I got back home. Just a complete cut off. I was so confused. I don't have Instagram or Facebook or anything. But after a week of wondering what the hell was going on, I created an account in 10 seconds and looked her up. There it was, clear as day and publicly displayed. She had never broken up with her boyfriend. She lives with him. She cheated on both of us every day for 9 months. I immediately messaged the boyfriend and we talked on the phone as I profusely apologized and explained that I had no idea. He said it isn't the first time she's done it. I think they're still together. They're perfect for each other. Taking the phone into the shower with him all of a sudden and having the phone on flight mode at home. Let me guess, you weren't living on a plane? Dude was pretending to be a pilot. Not me, but my best friend was driving to work when he realized he forgot his badge to get in, turned around after 10 minutes of driving, only to find another car in his driveway. He took his badge of his nightstand and said to his ex-GF who was on top of another man, "Make sure to turn off the heating and leave your key when you leave this afternoon." She said she was going on a trip to KC with her friends. I found out she was going with some other dude. And when I confronted her, she denied it many times before she finally admitted it. The kicker? She still went to KC with that fucker. And that was that. They started getting really annoyed with me over little things. Just always acting like I was bothering them. Like I make too much noise in the morning, or I'm being lazy while watching TV. Stuff they never had a problem with before. They started to suggest we go out and do things on our own. Like having me time when we didn't in the past. No explanation, just because why not kind of attitude. Then they started going out a lot and saying no, you can't come. This is my me time. They started to pick apart everything I did. Why you always say that word? Why you got to eat like that? Eventually I found myself not wanting to interact with them as much, and walking on eggshells when I did. I don't know why they do these things. Maybe because they are comparing you to the new person they are head over heels with and seeing all the things that make you different from them. Maybe to push you away so you break up with them and they can pretend to be the good guy. Maybe to make themselves feel less bad because look how horrible you are, and they think they deserve better. She said I've been cheating on you. I went out for a cigarette and came back and she was making out with one of the Norwegian guys we had met at a previous pub who I had invited to the karaoke bar we were in. When she had to go to the doctor but asked her friend to take her, not me. She got the morning after pill. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more.